All right, everybody, welcome on back. Continuing along, of course, our Tuesday afternoon here live in the Cyber Group Trading Room and streaming across social media, Facebook Live and YouTube. Welcome on back for our afternoon meeting. So long as I'm here, at least, I might get blown away in the hurricane. Let's get a quick sound, let's get a quick sound check quickly just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. The SRNE trade we just did really well on, and just dumped off, though, of course, just now. Great to see everybody, though, live inside our trading room. Crazy day, says Bonnie, loud and clear from the rest of us, though. David, Michael, Greg, Pat, Phil, Mark, H, Stefan, Guy, Kathleen. All right, guys, great. So, I jokingly said, if I remain here, right, may get swept away in the storm. But I'll tell you, I think like all around Long Island, at least here on the East Coast, been losing power, trees getting knocked over. I think I had a couple of texts from buddies, just seeing like big trees right to the left or right side of their house getting knocked over on their neighbor's roof, which is pretty scary. So first and foremost, if anybody's out there in the storm, just be safe, please. First and foremost, I'm going to try and do this quick because I have a weird feeling, knowing my luck, right in the middle of this meeting, I'll lose power. So I want to try and get through as much as I can before that potentially even happens. I tell you, it really is that bad outside. So let's go through things quickly. John says, same here, even across overseas in Scotland. He says, torrential rain, wind is not too bad, though. No, John, it's not even the wind. It's not even the rain. We have it vice versa. The wind is so bad here right now. So, let's see how far we can get. But Sorrento, for right now, SRNE up still 20+% going into the afternoon, even after that nasty shake from underneath 12. We've been following this trade, not even from today, not even from yesterday. I mean, across the last, month and a half, really. When news initially came out going back, I think it was even like late May, early June, right here. It's obviously this huge pop mid-May. It was when news first came out in relation to, I think it was the testing kits, right? If not vaccine, the latest news on SRNE has been the testing kits. They have the quickest ones. I think it's via the saliva spit, like 15 seconds or something. So you end up seeing this huge pop going into the mid to late morning. Beautiful trend, from more of a level 2-ish trade where the spread's still pretty tight. The order book level 3 on the far right side, still very liquid. Maintained this really beautiful trend on the way up towards eventual resistance at the time, 12. It took a couple of stabs at it, a couple of attempts, but ended up breaking above 12, making this run up towards 1240. I was looking for a move up towards 1250, ended up just obviously holding strong where it did. Ugly shake back down right now. So, it seems like it wants the VWAP, seems like it wants probably a little bit below there too. I wouldn't be surprised if we get sub 1150 even going into the afternoon. But for right now, I mean, I wouldn't mind putting this just back on our list for right now. SRNE. It's one that a lot of us here inside the trading room very familiar with. If it ends up just dudding off, then if you can get the shares to short, it's hard to borrow for us here on TradeStation. But if you can get the shares to short, go for it. All right, so just for right now, we'll start off with the SRNE. We did pretty well across the board, though. I kind of gloated a bit yesterday, saying just with the Mara, the Riot, the ADT, it was one of my better days yesterday. I can't say the same this morning. I did all right, but kind of back down to planet Earth, I was at least. So what we'll do is go from top to bottom, honestly, just with a quicker afternoon meeting on the horizon here. Let's see. Oh, this one's not even linked. That's why. SSNT, low float run up. Actually, let's see. Is this still up and up? Yeah, 158. Let's see. Oh, maybe for other reasons why this didn't pop up on my scanner here. I was going to try and look at the float, more or less. I figured the stock's a low float pump and dump, popped up really early prior to 8 o'clock, dumped off, of course, almost right after. And then leading into the open, it was still up so much percent-wise, but you can't still expect a run up once again. So, it ended up making a small pop at 9:30, crashed right back down. And, hey, for what it's worth right now, it kind of looks like it's at support, beginning to move back up. Man, what was that last one? We had it was from yesterday, and it was a pump and dump. I don't even remember it right off the top of my head right now. It was one that we were saying maybe it would be worth watching, maybe not. It made a quick little move up, and then it just freaking tanked right away after. Chuck says the COCP. No, Chuck, that was a runner into the close yesterday. This now is a dud today. So to a degree, pretty similar, but this COCP did us really well in the afternoon yesterday. John S is saying, yeah, I think it could be that DTSS. I think this was it. Yep. Right after 3 o'clock, pumped up, dumped right back down. So, that's what I'm afraid of on that SSNT trade going into the afternoon. It seems like it's holding support so nicely, but the spread's wacky. The order book's pretty wacky altogether. I'm going to pass. I mean, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday, Friday this week will make that run back up that you're hoping for. Same with ATHE, ended up making the same exact move, ended up breaking out nicely here at least, but obviously, same in the sense of the volume dump off. This reversed pretty shortly afterwards, holding underneath 450 and right back down to the lows. All right, so I don't want to jinx myself here, guys. I think since we started this meeting 5-6 minutes ago, so far no wind. I'm gonna cross my fingers, cross my toes, make sure that I'm good to go here otherwise, but it's starting to die off a little bit. PPSI, little move up earlier on today, kind of like low volume, patchy here and there. TCCO, yeah, I mean, not much doing. Old name at least, WLL Whiting Petroleum, ended up making a nice squeeze up early on this morning. We more so traded this stock going back into, was it March even? Not even April. We said, you see the pops here on the daily chart. Of course, we ended up catching it to a degree back then. It was off the huge drop off. Yeah, it was even back from February, the huge run down. We were looking at this tank and pretty much it with the rest of oil at the time. Ended up bouncing really sharply off of 2. That's what I mostly remember, this being a really nice dead cat bounce, even going back into early to mid-February. But of course, you can see on the daily chart a couple of other huge days we've caught this stock as well. Familiar name. I'm not really doing too much right now, so I'll pass, but maybe to keep this in mind for the rest of the week, perhaps. Another name, WIMI, WIMI, same thing. This ended up making a nice run up earlier today. I feel like this one could be a little bit more volatile. Maybe it'll make another, short-lived pop up. But, this is a known pump and dump too. We ended up seeing the stock make a huge run up going back into early July. I mean, a couple of days where it ran beautifully, but obviously what came afterwards, just, a huge gap down the following morning, right back down to pretty much lower than where it had opened up that same day, and then continued to dump off right away after. So, hey, took long enough, but this one ended up making a second little run up here. So, for right now, I wouldn't mind putting this on our list, just given it's made a huge move in the past for us before. I don't think this is in relation to any of the other pump and dumps that we've kind of traded right around that time. I mean, I remember EQ, U1, they've all got to be like different companies, different pump and dumps for different reasons, but all right. So yeah, WIMI for right now, I don't mind putting that one on our list to begin as well. All right, let's see what else we can get here, guys. Oh, I skipped over one called out from one of our traders, Chuck Sint, OSS, I mean. OSS, this one looking pretty good here. OSS ended up making a nice pop from 12 o'clock, 240 up to 310-ish it looks like. Had a tough time trying to break higher just here. 18,000 share order on the ask at 315. If you see that on the right hand side, trade station matrix, 18,687 share order. So holding that pretty nicely as the top. It also be shortable if it craps out the other way, but I don't think that'll be the case so far. All right, so yeah, OSS looking pretty good. Let's see, anything else here on the gainer side quickly as we run through? OCX, familiar name at least. That popped afternoon yesterday. MOS, ooh, this is looking pretty strong. Mosaic ended up running pretty shortly after the market opened up. Of course, right to the top right now. 1575, 1580-ish. All right. I mean, hey, just for right now, I don't really see a huge resistance on the order book. I would assume 16, major level, but, just looks like the top seems to be resistance 1580-ish. For right now, it just seems tradable, like a nice level 2-ish trade, maybe level 3, but, filled in order book, tight spread. I'll make our list for the meantime. All right. I don't want to put like every stock looking like MOS on our list because at that point we'll have like, 30, 40 stocks on our list. But yeah, EMPH pretty pricey for what it's worth right now. We're going to pass. Express, nice little run up. Almost too slow. APDN holding pretty strong near the highs. A little bit of a spread here at times. Not really too big right now, but kind of a lighter, thinner order book. I'll tell you guys, if there's anything else that's up, let me know. I'm going to hop over to the losers list really quickly. For all of us here inside the trading room, just shortly after this meeting and I post the list, I'll also go over the earnings, at least for after the bell today. DBVT, I saw this on the percent losers list real early this morning. I was thinking maybe a dead cat bounce. It was also shortable, but obviously that didn't really, I mean, it dropped off after the open, but afterwards it just was really flat. Hasn't really done much of anything. I'm sure at some point this stock, I mean, if it ends up continuing to drop off for a bit, but at some point it will make a short squeeze. So, I'm not going to just write this on the list and just bank on it, but I wouldn't be surprised at some point, even if it's tomorrow, that would be great. Later in the week, maybe even next week, perhaps. If you see it up early in the pre-market, active, up 10%, 9%, 15%, just look at the gap on the daily chart. There's a lot of room for this stock to, make a slight small recovery for you to just, take a little bit, Not today, at least. So we'll pass for right now. The Bitcoin stocks, Mara and Riot, were down big, at least in pre-market. Mara made the sharper drop-off. Ended up making a nice run up at first, but dumped right back down. Riot, same thing. And unfortunately, both of those trades, I was saying to you guys yesterday, we're going to put them on the list, just given the moves that they made, hopeful that they would end up kind of breaking that streak that I've mentioned. They're not really good afternoon trades. They're duds. WKHS, look at the sell-off on this one. I mean, hey, if you're able to get the shares to short, I actually will put this on our list, and even not just for, the potential continued move on the way down. If this ends up finding support here at 17, maybe this could be the beginning of a new bounce. So, WKHS, I mean, we ended up running this into the close yesterday, so it's pretty odd to see this just completely dump back down, like a total reverse move the following day. I mean, figure it would dump back down a little bit, but man, it's pretty damn close to its opening bell print. So for right now, I mean, yeah, WKHS, we'll just see where this takes us right now. I don't mind putting this on our list. And I would have to say the same with that in mind with the JMIA. Not as many of us would be able to short this stock, much lower float on this trade. I know Andrea inside our trading room is able to short this. I'm really jealous of him right now. I don't know if he's still in this trade, but he just made a comment saying, wow, it's still a monster. So he wouldn't say that without it being shortable, I feel like. So, I hope he's doing well. If anyone's able to short the JMIA trade, for as much as the stock has moved up over the last, really 3 to 4 weeks, it's about time this thing ended up like tanking. And I should really emphasize this stock has a very low float. So I was really wondering when that would happen. For as much as this ran up over the last, few weeks, this move really isn't that surprising in hindsight. Andrea says he's in from 1742. Oh my goodness, Andrea. I don't want to say lucky because Andrea is a very skilled trader, right? But I wish I had the shares. That's all right. You can't short everything, guys. You can't get the shares to short everything, at least. So sometimes I'll be able to get one or two things that Andrea isn't able to, and vice versa. It goes both ways. All right, so what else do we have here, guys? Chuck is saying Sint Pop. Take a look at that quick. Ooh, nice. Yeah, it's hard to not put this on our list now, so good call, Chuck. Hopefully there's a lot more left to this run or this pop. Andrea says, I've watched for years from the sidelines with you TradeStation traders getting the shares to short. That's right. From Philip, he ended up doing well on this one. I think this was the one he had called out last week, ALEC, Alec. He was studying that for like a potential day or swing trade. Yeah, it's at the lows of the day right now, Philip. It's just kind of low volume for what we would look for at this point in the afternoon. It's a really good setup. It's a really good setup, actually, at 15. What was the low back from this drop-off day? 1470. So not to say it's going to like hit 1470 and that's the major support under 15, but if it slams under 15 and you look to try and short that, you could be in for a new move on the way down, perhaps. That could be a good one to watch, Philip. I like the pattern on the chart. I just think the volume's a little light for what I'm looking for right now. I would definitely say for Philip to watch that stock. He killed it a few days ago on this trade. So, if there's a stock that you do well on and, it's tradable and it's moving a little bit, if I don't put it on the list, again, if you make money on it consistently or if you've done really well on it, go right back to the well. That's exactly why I went back to ADP today, guys. I got out of my trade earlier once it broke under 13. But look at this thing. Actually, since I turn over to it right now, ADP, we're going to put this right on our list heading into the afternoon. It's not on the percent losers list. It's not down enough, I guess, to make like the top 50 or whatever, but it's right at the pre-market lows, gap fill on the way down. Woo, that's looking good. I was thinking at some point this would run up. I mean, I was looking for support around 285, 1285. I was in that trade pretty much all day. I set a stop under 13 in case if it were to go the other way. So, pretty thankful I got out where I did. Ended up just continuing to drop off. I mean, in hindsight, I wish I just reversed and just went short. I was killing this trade short yesterday, but yeah, for right now, we'll put this on our list. I mean, 1250, the next support you would assume, 50-cent level. All right. From Norman V-Ray, I want to take a look at this quickly. So didn't mean to go off course, but thankfully it did. So I got ADT on our list. V-Ray, nice pop. Yeah, up 22%. Obviously, a lot of that coming pretty much right after 230, or right at 230. Yeah, this was probably creeping up the list as I was like flipping through, so I may have overlooked it. But yeah, really good call, Norman. I like this. Let's see the daily chart here really quick. Looks like this thing had a tough time breaking higher from like 340-ish, 341, and then a huge gap after that. But look what happened afterwards. You could see the same levels we're holding, 340-ish, 350-ish as those highs on the daily. See, that's how you could identify like a historical level, top or bottom. It's not just one high or low. It's just a matter of consistency. So I really would say 340 would be a level on the chart to watch. As of right now in the order book, you would say like 327 order on the ask, 15,000 plus share order. 296. I like that support on the bid, 21,300 shares. All right. So, guys, anything else? Up, down, left, right, 10% or more? Been watching my AC unit just in my home office all day. I just installed it like 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. It's the first like bad weather day that it's going through. So I've been like hawking it, making sure it doesn't rip out of my wall. If there's anything else, let me know. From Pratam here, ALVR, we'll take a look. It's up over 10%, right? So I appreciate that. Just a little low volume. It's a new IPO. That actually is pretty interesting. I do like that. New IPO broke higher today. So that's pretty interesting. So, maybe on the swing side, keep this in mind for Tom. Definitely one that I like right away that he just called out following up, PRPO. It's one that trades, more volume than this, certainly. Ended up making, wow, I left off on this trade. Got halted, gapped up way higher, and then came back down, almost like an identical move to what we had back a few days ago. A few days ago, you could see back on July 30th. Gapped up from 159 all the way up to 5, ran up to 8, got halted on the way down, tanked, and then just kind of fizzled back up a little bit, but made like an erratic move into the afternoon. Today, I mean, it's pretty damn similar. It hasn't really shaken back up just yet. Doesn't mean it's going to. But I like the recent action on this, so I'm hopeful that it just holds, begins its move back up. So this one I'll put on our list, and this is a better call. I like this one, PRPO. And again, keep in mind, guys, I mean, there might be something in the second I drop the mic and second I finish up the stream, for all I know, there might be something that just breaks out off of news and then otherwise. So, we're going to be on top of our scanners as soon as we finish up this meeting. If there's anything else that runs or makes a move, we'll look to call it out. This AGE stock making a nice push. It's a little frozen inside the trading room. We're going to get that refixed for you guys pretty shortly. For this stock here making a nice push. Yeah, 150 I would assume to be the next level. Looks like some volume just got hit at 145, 149 primarily. 150, 10,000 shares on the ask right now. To see a stock go from 110 to 150, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily jump into this trade over 150 just yet. It might be worth it quickly, but I would set a really tight stop in case if it makes the pop and drop from 150. That's a hell of a move. So there was a lot of volume that got filled around like probably 120-ish, 115 if I'm just shooting from the hip. Let me run really quickly here. You could see 124, 128, 124, a little under that 118 trade station matrix histogram. So, if it makes a pop and drop from 150, don't be surprised if this drops down to like a 128, 127-ish, and then begins to move up. But yeah, really, really good call here, Dennis. And I just saw that come up on my scanner here as well, Benzinga. All right, and then the last one I got here from while I'm at it, ETH. I don't know if this is related to Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency. It's the same symbol, but Ethan Allen, yeah, definitely not the same as Ethereum. Moving up nicely, 10% plus. Spread isn't too big. Order book isn't too spread out. I don't mind it. All right, cool. I'll make our list, and that'll do it. Also, the stock is shortable, but I'd be more focused on the run up. Seems like pretty low volume. That would be the only gripe, actually. I was kind of jumpy to add this to our list. 404,000 shares total. Ugh, it's kind of light. Yeah, I'll keep it on for right now. All right, guys. So in total, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10 stocks. That's it. So right down the middle. So I'll post and tweet these here for the meantime for anybody streaming across social media. If you guys would like to learn more about Cyber Trading University, CTU, as always, just give a call to the phone number down below in the banner. One of our education advisors will pick up, just provide more detail. For all of us here inside the trading room, like I just said, I'll post and tweet the picks. And aside from that, myself and Fausto will jump back on to resume the audio commentary, taking us into the close. Take care.